Hello everyone, this is a brief presentation of important events and astrological alignments that are going to be happening during the next 2 months based on the dream spell count. As you may know, tomorrow we complete one spin of the first galactic synchronization, so this document wants to be like a what I call a mission dossier, or a way for us to track the next couple of months in a way that we can find or understand the synchronicities, the meaningful alignments and events that are going to be unfolding. So let's start, and first of all, thank you to Denise Iris, who helped me to create this presentation. As a background, we can say that planetary moon is coded with KIN 218, which is the opening of the tomb of Pakal Bhutan. That means that prophecy is still unfolding and unveiling, and that this Earth Waves Peninsula, which we are right now, is the entrance to a first galactic synchronization spin, or replay or ripple of these energies. So probably this wave pill is going to set the tone for the next days in a very important way. Also, this planetary moon is filled with rare astronomical events and relevant time markers. On the next moon, which is the spectral moon, coded with KIN 219 spectral storm, preceding the rainbow, we hope, is especially since it starts with the heptad 41, which is the telepathic quantum of the seer and the serpent initiate. That means that the eagle and the serpent, or the feather serpent, is playing out, and it's what we can call a prophetic time window, with many powerful synchronization of codes and signatures and parallel spiritual events that are or will be occurring simultaneously in southern France. So with that said, let's go into the details of each of the days during the planetary moon. As we already mentioned, KIN 164 Galactic Seed is going to bring the first spin into a very auspicious alignment or conjunction of Venus and Neptune. That is the second and ninth planetary rings of the solar system, and it's the second circuit, the third circuit being Uranus and Earth. So that means that we are receiving a tuning or a fine-tuning of those two orbits, which are surrounding the Earth and Uranus on the outer and inner sides of the solar rings. So also the daily psychology unit and the guide for today are galactic karmic, are marked with galactic karmic Venus, because it's the star glyph. On the planetary 12, which is April 15, we have a very charged also day. KIN 167 spectral hand marks the first spin after the grand sextile, which I call the cosmic harmonic convergence, because it coincided with many alignments at a planetary level, including the heliacal rising of Sirius at the latitude of Mecca, 21 degrees north, and is also Leonardo da Vinci galactic signature, which fits perfectly with the geometries, and is the 79th anniversary of the Heroic Peace Pact signed in Washington by Franklin Delano Roosevelt and other world leaders. Is also the Jewish Passover, that probably for those who don't know, or for those of us who don't remember, the Passover is a commemoration that the Jewish people celebrate the liberation from the Pharaoh's oppression, and as we see, it's pretty much what is still playing out at a planetary level today. And this day will mark another important alignment, cosmic alignment, which is a rare lunar eclipse called a blood moon, because it's the first of 4 consecutive annular lunar eclipses over a period of 2 years with no partial eclipses in between. And every time that we have experienced this, especially during the last 500 years, it has happened 3 other times: 1493, in 1948, and in 1969, if I'm not wrong. And these 3 events were really important for the Jews. In 1493, the expulsion of the Jews in Spain happened through the Spanish Inquisition. Then on 1948, the State of Israel was created, and then on the last time that these consecutive lunar eclipses happened was 1969, and it was the 7-day Arab-Israeli war. So it seems like this configuration, this astronomical configuration, brings a lot of planetary changes, especially for the people from Israel. And it was also like synchronic to know that this is called a red moon, and we have the red dots of the banner of peace, and the blood moon is because of the refraction of the sun's light. It will make appear the moon red, and it's going to be even more dramatic because Mars is going to be also aligned with the moon. So we will see Mars, the red planet, and moon, and the red moon very close together. On planetary 1517, which is April 18 to April 20, we have what I call the resurrection window. Good Friday synchronizes with the entrance into the way spell of the Compassionate One, and the Easter Sunday, Jesus Christ's resurrection, is syncing with what I call the free will activation of the 4th solar ring anniversary of the Mexico oil spill disaster. So this is rebalancing again the event from 4 years ago, and symbolizes a planetary resurrection and the resurrection of the Christ consciousness on the planet on this day. So on planetary 17, April 23rd, is Rhythmic Eagle, and we have another important alignment, which is the Grand Cross that many astrologers are talking about. The Grand Cross is going to involve the planets of Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto. As we can see, are the 4 even outer orbits of the solar system. And if we add these orbits, the 4th, the 6th, the 8th, and the 10th, we have the perfect number 28 that coordinates the moons, which we had just a lunar eclipse of 28 that we measure every moon by 28 days. So this is also happening exactly 3 days after Jesus' resurrection on 420 or April 20, which within the twist spell 420 is also for Ahau, that is this galactic signature of Jesus Christ. And this is something that I call as below so above, because it happened first on earth. We celebrated the resurrection of Christ in the cross, and now we can see a particular cross in the sky. It's also 1 day after Earth Day on the 44th year celebration, and this is the 113th day of the year in the Gregorian count. The planetary 26th day, April 29, another important astronomical configuration, solar annular eclipse. And then also, as a synchronic note, is the 3rd anniversary of the royal wedding, which then we can see this role playing of energies of the sun and the moon, the male and the female, the heat and the light, the divine feminine and divine masculine aspects of consciousness playing out at multidimensional levels. Again, as above, so below. Planetary 28 marks the entrance into the wave spell of abundance with magnetic night. Beltane, which is May 1st, is like we were speaking on last slide, the festival of life. It's also the celebration of the alchemical weddings, and is synchronized with the abundance wave spell, so that's a double charge day. The opposite, also as a special or auspicious alignment, we see that Beltane this year is coded with magnetic moon, while Samhain, exactly at the other polar extreme of the ring, was Samhain last October 31st. And we were entering the Dragon Genesis, so there is a perfect synchronization of the seasons here through the wave spells. Also, on this day, I will be arriving in Toulouse, France for Stairways to Heaven Zion Academy tour with William Henry, which will take place until May 11th, 2014. So, on Spectral 2, we have the first day that is going to be important during the stay in France. This is KIN 185, 3 Serpent, as we know, is the galactic signature of Red Queen. Chrono unit for this is KIN 108, Galactic Maya Man's transmission. She's going to be completing 58 spins. I will be at Rennes-le-Château at the Magdalene Tower, and it's quite interesting to know that the KIN 185 is Tone 3 Glyph 5. We are in the 5th month and the 3rd day of the month, and the priest who built the tower, Berenger Sauniere, is KIN 53. So Quetzalcoatl, which is pretty nice alignment of frequency. The 5 and the 3 are really present here, and we are celebrating also 26 years plus 1 galactic spin, Sin Harmonic Convergence 1987, which means that in 130 days we will be completing 37 spins on KIN 155. Also, this day would mark what I call the day when Da Vinci codes meet Arcturus probe. The fiction meets the psychomythical reality of the Galactic Holy Grail, or the search of the Galactic Holy Grail. I hope that this day brings some more clues on the relationship between the Banner of Peace and its appearance on several as a very present element in the architecture of this tower. As you can see on the picture of the right, there's a window, a chimney, and wood details that show that this was a very important code for the building of this tower. On Spectral 3, we have it's May 4th, KIN 186, 4 Wall Bridger. Very auspicious days is the galactic signature of Leonardo da Vinci, also the galactic signature of Wotan when he received the Roerich Peace Medal he was age 71. The Roerich Peace Pact was also signed on Da Vinci's solar return, so which is April 15, 1935, as we already saw in a prior slide. The initial transmission to me as a translator occurred at the Prophets Conference in Cancun in 2010. The synchrono unit for today is KIN 108, and is also one spin from the recording of Red Queen of the Bridging Heaven and Earth interview celebrating the 26th anniversary of harmonic convergence. On Spectral 4, which is May 5th, we have KIN 187, Overton Hand. This marks the galactic signature of Regina's ascension. This is 64 spins. Also is the October 2nd, 2013, which marked the 46 years since her passing. So we have the 64 and the 46 playing out, and on that date, October 2nd, her departure synchronized with her birth, or her galactic signature, which is KIN 232. That's also a very symbolic synchronization. On Spectral 8, which is May 9th, we have KIN 199, Solar Monkey. This day is Madame Blavatsky excoronation, solar return, and is the galactic signature of the excoronation of Mohammed on June 8, 632, which is the day that most scholars and sources agree as the death of Mohammed. So if we translate it, or if we decode it into the dream spell, we will get to Solar Monkey. These are two of the most important keepers of the secret teachings, so it's good to consider them. On Spectral 9, which is May 10th, we have Planetary Human. It's Gandhi's galactic signature. This is going to be exactly 99 years after his birth that Regina made her dimensional shift. That means that Gandhi was born on October 2nd, Regina was ascended on October 2nd, and today marks 144 days plus 1 day of time until his next solar return, which is October 2nd, and it's going to be the 144th ring since then. KIN 192 is also the galactic signature of the enactment of the Roerich Peace Pact in Washington on April 15, 1935, and it's also we are going to have a Sun-Saturn opposition in the sky while we are in the cube position of the night and on the night wave spell, so it's double Saturn day. Spectral 10, which is May 11th, is going to be KIN 193, Spectral Skywalker. This is when things start to get even more interesting. This is the galactic signature of the discovery of the tomb of Mary Magdalene. According to most sources, online sources, this happened on December 12th of 1279. December 12th, also, as a synchronic note, is the annual feast day of the Virgin of Guadalupe in Mexico, which is also the patron of the feminine in Mexico. Is very, very important figure. It's my Magic Turtle Day, and it's Mother's Day in Gregorian, so we have the feminine really present today in many ways, as the Magdalene return, as the Guadalupe Magic Turtle, which is the symbol of the feminine and the moon, and as Mother's Day within the Gregorian. So it's operating at a multi-dimensional level. And the next day, which is Spectral 11, May 12th, will bring another important date for the feminine, which is KIN 194, Crystal Wizard. This marks the galactic signature of the discovery of Red Queen's tomb in Palenque, Mexico. It's the first lost generation of within the Book of Seven generation. It's moon day 11, and 360 days ago was KIN 89 exactly on this day. So this means that the two events are connected through time. One being the ascension of Balloon Botan, and this being the discovery of the tomb of the mystery of the Red Queen. And on the next day we have a spectral 12, which is May 13. This is the end of the night wave spell Cosmic Eagle, and it is also a day charged with the feminine. It's not only Virgin of Fatima feast day, but it's also the second Lord generation of the Book of Seven generation. It's Wesak day in the Buddha's enlightenment. And as side notes for the Virgin of Fatima, it's important to say that Fatima is an Arabic baby name, and that is the name of the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, which some people even say that is going to be, some scholars talk about Fatima as the mother of one of the last Imam. And another important aspect is that these apparitions of Virgin of Fatima in Portugal, which is a very, very strong Templar area, the first Templar nation actually, the most one of the most accepted by press and by the great consensus of people is that on October 13, 1917, an event called the Miracle of the Sun happened in Portugal, when around 70,000 people saw very, very incredible sightings in the sky. It's called the Dance of the Sun, as we said, and this is basically from Wikipedia, May 13 and October 13, the dates that the window that these apparitions happen. And these are the three kids who were witness of this apparition, especially Laura Santos was, I think, this girl to the left. She was the one who survived and became a nun after the persecution of these kids. Since today we just ended the wave spell, and this is basically where most of the events are concentrated. We are going to see these events from the perspective of the moon overlay, or from above. Since, as we saw, we have Mary Magdalene on KIN 193, the discovery of the tomb of Mary Magdalene. This is the galactic signature of that date, December 12, 1279. On spectral 11, KIN 194, we have the discovery of the tomb of the Red Queen. And the next day, as we were speaking during the last slide, is the feast or the celebration of the apparition of Virgin of Fatima in Portugal. So we have three very, very strong, a very, very strong presence of the feminine on this window, which happens also to be surrounded by very powerful energies. Regina is here on May 5th, KIN 187, that's the galactic signature of her ascension. On spectral 9 we have the Rory's Pact signature. On spectral 13 we have the combined signature of Balloon Botan and the Red Queen, 11 plus 185. Below we have KIN 201 Rhythmic Dragon, which is the galactic signature of Jacob. And below this one we have Merlin code, which is KIN 208, and the entrance to the Green Castle. So there is a very powerful alignment, like an overlay of the cross, which the center is the 1111 here at the exact middle. Since if we consider that 1111 or spectral 11 last year was the ascension of Balloon Botan, then we start to see how these overlays are charged with meaning. And not only that, but if we also consider that for instance, important facts like KIN 201 was the day that the Roerich received the Chintamani stone in Paris in 1923 in October, or that the Roerich Peace Pact is also the same galactic signature as Gandhi, which was a promoter of peace, and also that Mohammed and Madame Blavatsky are next to that day on spectral 8, and that the festival of the enlightenment of the Buddha is on May 13 or spectral 12. And we can say, like in a summary, that this arc, sacred, the divine feminine archetypes are guarded in this chamber that is surrounded by the avatar energies. Not only by the avatar energies, but we need to notice also that these three powerful energies are closing or sealing the way spell of abundance, which is also the symbol of the feminine, and that this is going to be a window when we have Red Queen's galactic return and Leonardo da Vinci's solar return. Then we kind of see how everything starts to become like a very elegant jigsaw puzzle. We have the 7 lost generations also, an overlay. So it's a lot going on basically, and it's good to be aware of all these events. So if we receive any sign or synchronic signal during the day, we can be aware that there is a deeper story unfolding behind the scenes, that we are part of that story, and we are really creating the prophecy as we speak. So I hope that this presentation was interesting and that was helpful. I would say that I recommend to check these couple of links. A good interview with William Henry, not interview, presentation with William Henry, and on the Chintamani stone and the Nicolas Roerich work, and also this article from a British newspaper in which talks about this prophetic alignment of the moons and the historic events related to this alignment. So I hope that this was helpful, and see you next time. See you in France. Bye bye.